Welcome back. Interfaith dialogue is about people of different faith coming to a mutual understanding and respect that allows them to live and cooperate with each other in spite of their differences. The term refers to cooperative and positive interaction between people of different religious traditions and both the individual and institutional level. With us today is Dr. Muhammad Ali, and he's assistant lecturer at the Faculty of Languages and researchers at Al-Azhar Observatory for Combating Extremism, and we'll talk to him today about important issues. Hello, Mr. Muhammad.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be hosted in your show.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Doctor. First of all, would you tell us more about the role of Al-Azhar Observatory in spreading religious tolerance?
Yep, the Al-Azhar Observatory for Combating Extremism was established in 2015 in the wake of ISIS organization. Our main task at the observatory is to keep track of whatever published in the Western media about Islam and Muslims, with special focus on topics like extremism, terrorism, Islamophobia, the Muslim minorities living in the West. The observatory comprises. The observatory comprises 11 departments operating in 11 different languages. Each department comprises researchers who are fully qualified to do Islamic research, and in addition, they have excellent command of their respective languages. Our work at the observatory has double aspects. One of them is a proactive aspect, and the other one is a reactive aspect. In the proactive aspect, we do researches, we launch awareness campaigns. Like, for example, in one of our campaigns, it was about the concept of jihad. The terrorist organizations are manipulating the term of jihad. They are messing up with young people's mind about this terminology, trying to exploit it to attract more people, telling them that it is an obligation to engage in jihad. So we clarified what jihad is. We explained that jihad is basically, in Islam, it's a defensive means. Jihad was meant or was legislated for Muslims in order for them to be able to defend themselves and their religion. And we explained that the Prophet and his companions had to fight, had to observe jihad because they had to. They were driven out from their country, they were put to persecution and oppression, so they had to. It wasn't a choice. They had to in order to defend themselves. And we in another campaign, it was entitled "They Claim" or "They Allege" and "We Correct." It aimed at clarifying some misconceptions that are used by the terrorist organizations. Misconceptions like the caliphate, because they are, telling young people that it's an Islamic duty to establish the caliphate or khilafah, and it's, unlawful to live under a country or under a ruling system that does not judge according to God's law. And the God's law is only manifested through the caliphate. So we clarified what caliphate means, and we explained that caliphate is not an Islamic requirement. Any ruling system that preserves people's rights is validated by Islam. It doesn't need to be a caliphate like the caliphate that was established in the first generations of Islam. Another task we do is that we fight not only extremism by Muslims, but also extremism exercised against Muslims. And this is manifested in Islamophobia. We did many researches on Islamophobia me being an individual or a researcher at the English department, we, covered specifically the UK and the United States of America. In, and we put together a list of the causes and effects of Islamophobia. And one of the causes of Islamophobia, and this has something to do with our work at the observatory, one of its causes is that people in the UK have misperceptions about Islam. The true image of Islam is not communicated to them. We as Muslims fail to communicate to them that Islam is a religion of peace. They think all Muslims are like, because what they are being told about Islam is that there is ISIS, there are terrorist attacks. So that's all that they know about Islam. So we, through our researches about Islamophobia, we try to communicate the true image of Islam, that Islam is a religion of peace, and that terrorist organizations, they don't actually belong to the true Islam. They are deviant groups who have agendas they want to achieve. And so on.
Okay, what are the main allegations that Al-Azhar institution faces recently?
Allegations?
Yeah. About Islam, of course.
About Islam, as I told you, there are accusations. Okay, there are accusations directed against Islam, that Islam supports terrorism, for example. It's our task to change this perception, to prove that Islam is a religion of peace, and there is very, very limited minority among Muslims who engaged in terrorist, engaged in terrorist operations or attacks. And we are trying to replace the extremist ideology with a moderate one. And this ideology is the mainstream in Azhar, moderate ideology.
I understand that you do that in different languages and you utilize different social media platforms. So would you tell us a bit about that, please?
Well, we, as I told you, we have like 11 languages, and each campaign or each research we do is translated into these 11 languages. Mm-hmm. And then we have them published through our different media outlets, including the official website of Al-Azhar Observatory, and our platforms on social media like Facebook and Twitter. And we get some good interaction from our followers, and especially from young people following us.
Al-Azhar uses foreign language, many foreign language, in order to refute allegations about Islam. What are these languages?
Foreign languages we use at the observatory. Yeah, we have Western and Eastern languages. The Western languages include English, Spanish, German, Italian, and and the Eastern languages include Urdu, Chinese, Hebrew. We still have the Hebrew language. And I don't remember all of them, but we have the most commonly spoken languages in the world.
You're an assistant lecturer at the Faculty of Languages, and definitely you do meet a lot of students who are coming to study at Al-Azhar from different countries. So tell us a bit about the role of Al-Azhar in enlightening Muslims and students from different nationalities.
Yeah. The followers of Islam have different ideologies. Some of them adopt moderate ideology, others adopt extremist ideology, others adopt loose ideology. The ideology that Al-Azhar adopts in general is the moderate ideology. And when we have foreign students coming to learn at Al-Azhar, after they finish their course of education here, now they become qualified to go back to their countries and spread the moderate ideology they were taught at Al-Azhar. And this helps create more Muslim communities where the values of tolerance, peaceful coexistence are spread or are established.
What are the most important initiatives taken by Al-Azhar as an institution in order to support Muslims worldwide?
Muslims
Yeah.
worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Al-Azhar and its Grand Imam have been engaged in several travels around the world. The image of Islam is being distorted by terrorist organizations and by extremists. So the purpose of these tasks adopted by Al-Azhar and its Grand Imam is to, create more tolerance among the followers of the different religion. And I remember like 2 years ago, we hosted a conference that gathered young people from foreign Christian young people and Muslim young people from Al-Azhar. We sat together when we discussed ways to spread the values of peace and peaceful coexistence between the followers of the different religions living in one society. And we came up with some good suggestions and some good proposals to achieve this purpose. And recently the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar was in a conference or at he already been engaged in many journeys and conferences at Vatican with Pope Francis. And when common people see the leader of the Sunni faith, of the Islamic faith, and the leader of the Christian faith being together, this sends this message to people that here they are. These are your biggest idols, and they are together, or they're your biggest figures, and they are together. So this automatically sends a message to people that we should be this way. We should be in harmony. We should not be. We should not be fighting.
Doctor, as an assistant lecturer, what type of topics do you teach? Do you teach certain subjects? Tell us more about your career.
Yeah, the topics I teach at university, some of them are linguistic ones, and the others are Islamic ones.
Mm-hmm.
The Islamic ones are we teach, or I in person teach hadith studies, tafsir studies, and I teach comparative religions in order to teach my students that there are many things in common between religions. There are many things in common between Islam and Christianity, for example. So there are more reasons that bring us together than the reasons that would separate us.
Well, Dr. Muhammad Ali, thank you very much for joining us today.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad. And that was Dr. Muhammad Ali, Assistant Lecturer at the Faculty of Languages. And we'll be back after the break, so stay with us.